I had started smoking pot around 12. A girl who was like 19 took me in to her apartment. I told her I was 16 and I had run away from home. She was punk rock, and I was into that too. She let me stay at her apartment for 2 nights and, gave me food and stuff. Just were staying at like random people's houses. I was bullied in 7th grade by these Mexican girls who were really beautiful and popular in the school. They'd wait for me and they would surround me and like laugh at me and pointing, laughing, throwing stuff at me. I was always really counterculture and really unpopular. They were Mexican. So I was able to like focus on that. Like these Mexican bitches, like they're horrible. I met some other kid, but he was racist. They had like rebel flags and swastikas and stuff in the house. So we started ditching school and hanging out with them all the time. And so they were just like, oh yeah, oh fuck Mexicans and everything. This one girl had one, and it was passed around. It said like, what would you do to your worst enemy? I wrote down something horrible, like I would hang in a tree. She showed it to the Black kids at school, who were also very popular, very well liked. By the end of the day, everybody was like, oh my God, she's a Nazi, we're gonna kill her and everything like this. The principal called me in. Why would you write something like this? Why would you say this? And I couldn't even answer. Like I didn't know what to say. And I was like, I don't know, I'm sorry. My parents were Southern. So to me, like rebel flags and stuff like that was just heritage. And my dad was racist. At some point we met a guy who was really a skinhead, and like he had gotten out of jail and stuff, and he was trying to recruit kids to start a gang. And then I was like really into it. Carving swastikas on my arm, white power stuff was cool. He had really helped get the ideology. He told us all about Hitler and Mein Kampf, and he would read out of the book why white people were better and how it was our heritage and our birthright. So we met all kinds of people there, and those Germans were totally racist still and totally into Hitler's type stuff still. They would have to hide it because it's illegal. He had friends that lived in St. Louis that were skinheads. So I guess this was my first experience with like a real skinhead gang. Get drunk, get in fights, and just all the skinhead stuff that they do. I just wasn't quite 100% down with the skinheads. They were all talking about making sure to continue the white race and having babies, and I was like, I'm not having kids. At the same time, I was dating this other guy. I was desperately in love with him, and it turns out that he was bisexual. We're supposed to hate people like this. Things started to fall away more because it was like, well, if that part's not true, what about the rest of everything? I have met some Black people. They're not all evil. I always felt like I was struggling. I never made a lot of money. By that time, I'm in my mid-20s, and I'm just like, how do you get ahead in life? I have literally never been beaten out for a job by someone who was another race. So where were these Black people and Mexicans taking the jobs? It's not because Black people or Mexican people take a job for me. It's because people don't fucking pay you well wherever you work. That's the problem. The Black and the Mexican people were having the same struggles as me, as a poor white person. I realized that the beliefs were stupid. I was like done with the racism. I now have, joined protests with Black Lives Matter and the 15 Now movement for economic justice, social justice, racial justice. It's not a true family. It's just not a good connection. It's not a good way to find security.